Hello YouTube, it's Darthsteve333 here again with another pickups video. Thankfully not so much of a pause between the last one and this one. I did say I'd try and post them a bit more regular, so here they are. And I thought it was worthwhile doing because I've had a good couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago better than this week, but nevertheless still some good finds. So without further ado, let's crack on. You may see a bit of footage before this. I've been trying to take a little tiny camera out with me with sort of very little success so far. I'm still trying to find a good way to mount it and get quality pictures, so we'll wait and see whether that turns out. But in the meantime, I'm going to put a little pause in here just to see if there's somewhere I can slot a bit of footage in, but we shall see. Anyway, that might be a bit of dead time on this video, so I apologise. I've still got to actually look at the footage. It doesn't look too great from what I've checked so far. So anyway, go back to 2 weeks ago. I went to the first boot of the year at my favourite boot. It's a bit of a stretch. I've picked up some good stuff there before. The real trick is obviously get there for when it opens if you can, or if not, you know, as near as damn it to the time that it opens. And it'd been put off due to the weather, so I was sort of chomping at the bit really. And also it did fall quite nicely timing wise, because I've had a little bonus of work, nothing to shout about, but it meant I could carry a few quid with me, which is not usually the case. So anyway, it's going to be very haphazard, I'm afraid. No particular order, but I think I do remember the first game that I saw, which was 50p. It's a Capcom game that I'd never, to be honest with you, I've never heard of, but if it's Capcom, it's likely to be pretty good. And here it is. It says on the back, frantic battle action from the creators of Resident Evil and Devil May Cry, so I thought that's got to be a good thing. It's Devil Kings, so there you go. That was 50p. So saw that and I thought, oh, I wonder how today's going to go. So what happened then? I'm going to do it in order. I'm going to do it in order of things that I picked up. So pretty much didn't see anything for a few minutes. I did a couple of 3 aisles, was beginning to fear the worst, in that either there was not going to be much there, or that other people had been and sort of picked up all the good things. And I saw this when I suddenly happened upon this guy who was pretty hot, you know, on the ball. He'd set up his stall already, and what caught my eye initially was a Nintendo 64 with, I think it was Mario 64 in it, looking in good nick. But then I sort of panned across the table and sort of looked towards the left, and I could see he'd got some Xbox One games, some original Xbox games. I think he got some 360 games as well. So I had a look at his Xbox One games first off, and I saw one which I've been looking to get my hands on for a long time, which was this, which you'll obviously guess I have got now. It's Forza Motorsport 6, so very pleased to pick that up. But before asking him about the price for that, something else caught my eye. And it's something that you might recall I picked something up of the last time I posted a video. I suppose this particular thing must be like the buses. You don't see one for a very long time, and then all of a sudden two turn on practically at the same time. What I saw was, he said, reaching down, trying to maintain some sort of tension, or something like that. Another box Dreamcast, possibly in even better nick than the other one. Once again, I probably won't take it all out. It's actually less yellowed than the other one. I will sort of slide it open to a certain degree. I think it's got most of the paraphernalia in here. Oops. In fact, it's got control of the wires at the other end. It's got obviously documentation, and there's the Dreamcast itself, and in very nice shape. The I think the power wire and video leader underneath. So I asked him how much it was, and he basically said to me, well, actually I asked him how much this and Forza would be, and he says, well, I was looking for 40 quid on the Dreamcast, so I'll do the two for 50 quid. So, as you can tell, obviously went for it. I know it's possibly a little greedy to have two box Dreamcasts now, but I can honestly sort of get the two, work out which I want to keep. If there's any extra bits in one box that's not in the other, I can put the most complete version together out of the two, and you know, I might well move the other one on again. But at this moment in time, I'm absolutely stoked to get a Dreamcast. Oh, I nearly forgot to mention, it came with two VMUs as well. There's 3 games with it in varying condition. We've got ECW Hardcore Revolution, which is actually a nicer box than the one I picked up a few weeks ago, so I'm going to obviously Frankenstein the best possible version out of them and trade in the other. Another game that I have already, which is Trick Style, and again, good game. And Soul Calibur, which is obviously an old, it looks like an old Blockbuster X rental case. So, oops, got the instructions, got the disc, but obviously no inlays, and as I say, you know, an X rental case. But still very happy. Yes, it is Blockbuster Video X rental case. So yes, there was those, and last but not least, 2 boxed controllers. So, as I say, I think that makes it 3 or 4 box controllers I've got now, so that makes me really happy as a bit of a Dreamcast fan. Great stuff. So right, obviously things took a sudden upturn. Practically next to him there was like a reseller, but to be fair, quite a good one. Nothing particularly overpriced. I did treat my wife to a PS4 game because she's picked up a PS4 recently. She'd been sort of looking at me playing various games on that and wanted to have a go herself, but found it difficult because obviously I was playing. So she's got a PS4 now as well, and she's got the Division thanks to me. So she's struggling a little bit with the old joypad mechanics, being quite new to that really. She's more of a PC gamer, but she's getting there. Anyway, so I got her the Division for PS4. So this reseller, they had, what was it, PS1 games, $1.50 each, or 3 for £4. So I saw the first 2 of these, and thought they're definitely upgrades on my existing ones. So these will be kept and traded, you know, the old ones traded in. So the first one is Sly Raccoon, the first game, and it has a manual and disc in very nice nick, which I believe my copy doesn't have the disc. Sorry, it doesn't have the disc, doesn't have the manual. Next one, Sly 2. Again, very, very nice condition. Looks barely used, if used at all. And just to show you, there's the disc. It's pretty flawless. So very pleased to get that. And the final game, I was scratching around a bit looking for a third game to make it better value. I picked this up. This is Tekken 4, which I do already have, but again, I think that's in better nick than mine. And you can see where someone's actually bought that from back in the day. A bit disappointed that they've put a bloody sticker on the inlay, but I think I can probably swap out the inlay with my existing one. Anyway, it's got the SCEE catalogue video in there, and obviously, oops, the disc itself and the manual, which again I don't think I've actually got the manual in my copy. So saw them. Anyway, saw a 360 game which I also I thought I'd got. I might have mentioned this in the last video. I picked up a copy of Command & Conquer 3 Tiberian Wars, I think it was, and always thought I had this, I must have traded it or something, but it's Command and Conquer Red Alert 3 with the reversible cover and a poster in there. I've definitely had this before because I remember it. I think I reversed the inlay, so it was the blue one. But, and I remember the poster as well, so God knows what happened to that. Maybe I lent it to someone. But again, you know, the disc is not so good as the PlayStation 2 games, to be honest, but I got that. The final thing I got from him, I basically ummed and ahed about for the duration of the car boot. I'd seen it, looked at it, walked up and down, worked out how much money I'd left, got to the end of the boot, and I thought I'll go and have one last look, and if it's still there, I'll go and get it. It was still there, I've gone and got it. Streets of Rage 2 for the Mega Drive, and it's in very nice condition, as you can see, and believe it or not, I've got Streets of Rage 1, but I've never ever played Streets of Rage 2, so I've had my eye on this for a long time. It did cost me a bit, but it was £14.99. Tell you it's a reseller because they've got the 99p in there. You know, if it's a booter, they'll just say, oh, 14 quid or 15 quid or whatever. But I was happy enough to pay that because the retro shop that I sometimes frequent, near where I work, was asking the same price for the game, and it had a very, very faded spine, and it didn't look in half as good nick as this, so very pleased to get that. So anyway, I continued on my way. What did I see next? I think next I happened upon somebody selling, having a bit of a clear out really. This was a genuine booter. They were selling a whole load of 360 games, some Wii games, I think some Game Boy games, no, some DS games. Anyway, I sort of had a flick through, and basically, barring one of these, I think I'll probably use these to trade in and get more games later down the line. Yeah, so you could say I cherry picked them to a degree. Well, you can say I cherry picked them essentially. I asked how much for all of these, 5, and I paid a tenner. So first one is Wii Sports for the Wii, oddly enough. Wii Sports Resort. Can't speak today. And then I got Donkey Kong Country Returns, which I think might be in better nick than my one, so that may be kept. This is the one I don't have already. Now I'm in two minds about whether I want to keep it or trade it. It's Mario Party 8. And the last one I shamelessly bought with the intention of using this trading credit, and that is the Simpsons game for the 360. There it is. And for some reason this trades in for a good whack, so obviously that will help me get some alternative games that I don't have already. So that lot for a 10 I was pretty pleased with. Next thing I saw was a guy selling a couple of PS4 games. I do have one of them already, so again this is one that I'll be moving on. That's Call of Duty Ghosts. And the other I actually have on the Xbox One, but I thought my wife might want to play this, so she might hold on to that. It's Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, which is sort of like a standalone expansion really for the New Order that came out about a year or so back. Again, they cost me a £5. I think he said they were £3 or £4 each, or I could have a pair for a £5, so yes please. I don't think there was much more. No, I tell a lie. I am telling a lie. A couple of odds and sods. I found this for 50p. There was a guy selling a load of electrical kit. He says it was untested, so I got a component to HDMI converter. You never know when something like that might be needed. And I also got, what was it, a mini DisplayPort to HDMI adapter, thinking it was like a mini HDMI to HDMI. I got that with the intention of sort of giving that to my dad. He's got, I thought it was a USB to HDMI adapter. He's got a digital camera and wants to put pictures through his telly. but he hasn't got the lead, so I've been keeping my eye open for one. Anyway, suffice it to say that didn't work out. But my component to HDMI converter did, so happy enough with that for 50p. Next thing was, yes, I couldn't quite believe this when I saw it. Box was tatty, things were just crammed in there. I'll show you the box alone because I've taken all the stuff out and take the box up a bit. But basically this may actually sort of, well, I'm hoping it actually results in a bit more varied content on the channel. It's HD PVR2 video capture box, which I understand you can actually capture not only 360 and PS3 gameplay in, but also PS4 and Xbox One and technically PC games. You know, I'm going to be trying a few different things, see what I can capture and what I can't. Now I haven't actually tested it yet. I do intend to do that very soon. And just in case you're thinking I bought an empty box, there's the drivers, or I think that's the software packages that come with it. Here's the actual box itself. Looks in good condition. Here's the PS3 component adapter. These here are the little component widget that fits into the back of the box itself. Then we have a USB lead which goes from the box to the computer, power adapter, and the HDMI lead. So all the leads are there. The box itself is there. The one thing that wasn't in there is instructions, but I've been on the website and I've watched lots of tutorial videos. So fingers crossed that works okay, and I might be doing a bit of game capture, so you can listen to my monotone drone over game footage hopefully. Anyway, so that cost me a tenner, would you believe? I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but that was a tenner. So obviously I said, you know, how much is that? And she went on and gave me a brief explanation. Oh, it captures the games off your telly. He was looking for £10 for that. I was like, bang, there you go, I'll have that please. So £10. Considering them things cost, well, a fair few quid, I think that's probably slightly older tech now, but I'd imagine they're still sort of 70, 80 quid. So very pleased to get that. Something I've been considering trying to do for a while, but didn't want to take the plunge. It was a bit of a financial hit to buy one of those things and then find out maybe it's not for me. So I should give it a try, see what I think, and you know, who knows where we go from there. So last few bits from that particular car boot. What was next? Found these. I believe these were £1 each and in very good nick. I've got Time Crisis Blazing Storm, which has got Time Crisis 4 and Dead Storm Pirates, which I did get a few weeks ago, but I mean that's never been used as far as I can tell. For £1, I'm not going to turn that down. And this one I also got a few weeks ago, and I didn't think I would get a better example of it. I have. It's House of the Dead Overkill Extended Cut, and in here, if you recall, the last time I picked this up, I was going on about the 3D shades or 3D specs. It obviously comes with a manual and a disc. The disc is absolutely minty. I don't think it's ever even been out of the case. Got the 3D glasses still in the sealed wrapper, so that actually trumps my my existing one. So very happy to get that for £1. So there you go. Excuse me. Right, last couple of bits from that week were spotted these through one of those containers, like a white plastic container. Saw the shape of the box, had a look. Unfortunately nothing much more spectacular than this, but nevertheless still games for a certain system. Saturn games. There we go, these were £1 each, so Sega Sports International Victory Goal. Olympic Soccer, Winners Edition. Includes free Olympic results poster. This one I already do have, but I think mine is not quite in as good nick as this. That's Sega Worldwide Soccer 97. So again, all got the manuals. I mean, the case is in about as good a condition as you can expect for a Saturn case. So I think they were, like I say, £1 or maybe 50p each. So I went for them. And the last bit, really, from that week was, I think, a couple of bits. Yeah, there was a guy unpacking his vehicle in the slowest possible manner. I must have gone back about 4 times. He did mention on my first look he'd got a couple of assorted games dotted about, like PS1 and so on. And he says, "Oh, I've got a whole box of them in there." He says, "If you come back in a bit, then they'll be out." So I went back, like I say, 3 or 4 times. He'd finally got them out. I didn't really see anything much in the way of PS1 games that I hadn't got or were in good enough nick to consider buying. The prices he'd got them up for, but I did pick these 2 up for, I think it was £4 each. But Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the original Xbox, which again is a game I do already have, and I will be moving on because that is still sought after, even with the recent Battlefront game having come out. I think people still enjoy playing the original Xbox version. So that was £4, as was this, which is a GameCube game I don't have already. I do have it for the PS2. It's Tom Splitter's 3 Future Perfect, and this is in very nice nick, as you can see. So that was purchased, and that was, I think, about that for that particular week. Struggling to think if there's any more. Don't think there was. I think that was a pretty decent haul anyway. So throughout the week I'm obviously going around the charity shops and the recycle centre on my lunch break, and I did find a few bits and bobs in the week as well. I'm just trying to remember which bits were which. I know what I did find. This was just a random purchase. I saw this and it's an upgrade on my existing copy again. This is Eternal Darkness for the GameCube. The reason I wanted to trade mine is, as seems to unfortunately be common with the GameCube discs, you can find there's like little tiny hairline cracks in the centre of the disc, which means that obviously anyone that's had it previously hasn't been particularly the most careful in the world with them. You know, although you can actually pop a bit of super glue in there, which should resolve the problem, I've heard, I'd rather have one that isn't at risk of flying again. Right, so where was I? Yeah, so I upgraded Eternal Darkness for my own collection, so happy with that. That was, I think, from Computer Exchange. So, things I picked up in the week. Just trying to think what they are. Yep. I think... weekend. Right. Okay. Right. These were, I believe, marked up at £1 each, but they got an offer on buy one get one free, so it's effectively 50p each. The one that caught my eye was Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and I chose another one to make it worthwhile, which was Air Raid 3, which is looks like a fairly average budget game. Might be good, might be terrible. I've not played it yet, but. Oddly enough, a few days later I saw Air Raid 2, although I didn't pull the trigger on that. Another of the charity shops. I got these 2. Again, I think same deal. I think they were. I think there was a different charity shop. Anyway, it's another Armoured Core game, so I must be fairly close to getting all the PS2 Armoured Core games. This is Silent Line Armoured Core. we go, very nice condition. Got the manual. And this, which I got for the original Xbox, which is Tenchu Return from Darkness. Again, boxed complete with manual. Final one of these was going back to the shop that was doing 2 for £1. I saw this, which was Turok Evolution for the GameCube, which I do have already. The disc is slightly better than my existing one, I think, so I'll swap that out and trade in the other. So there we go, Turok Evolution, and I had to search around Big Star for another game to go with it. It was like the football games. I think there was a Smash called Tennis, which I already have. So I picked one I don't have. I'm expecting this to be particularly dire. I might even do a game capture of it. It's Charlie's Angels, the movie, or official game of the movie by Ubisoft. Ubisoft might be alright, might be absolutely dire. So those two cost me £1. A couple of assorted ones. Do like this series for PC. I think I got this one, and well, I think I got both of them digitally, so I do like to have box copies. Yes, here we go. Total War Rome 2, £1, and Total War Shogun 2, also £1. I would say for PC this is pretty much obsolete, but if ever Steam goes down, then I've got the box copy, and I can probably get a key generator or something to activate it, or something, some such workaround. But yeah, happy to get them anyway. Similar sort of deal with this, which I picked up for £1 off a car boot, but I might as well mention it now. Football Manager 2014. Again, I'm a bit of a sucker for these. Basically follows the same process every year. I manage my favourite team. We get a good start, 5 maybe 6 games, win. The wheels start falling off, the players start getting injured. I can't sell anyone, I can't buy anyone. We drop to mid-table, results continue getting worse. We reach the end of, or near the end of the season. I issue an ultimatum to the board to give me some transfer funds, and they tell me to do one. That is pretty much what happens every year, no matter what version I get. But it's good fun. So, right, oh yes, a couple of randoms. This, I can't remember where I got this. Jack 2 Renegade. Again, manual. Disc is battered, but I'm going to clean that. But it has got a good manual. I think that was £1. Right. Now these were all in the same charity shop, and they were 99p each. And there were some in here which were upgrades to my existing ones, because they look to have been traded in by the same person, someone who looks after the game. So that's all I like. This one wasn't, I don't think. Yeah, this one was picked up separate. This was £1 or 50p. Ratchet and Clank 2. That'll be a trade. But the rest of these, I believe, yes, these were all from the same place, and these were 99p each. So Soul Reaver 2. Box complete. Final Fantasy 10. With the manual, with the DVD, and obviously the game. Again, I'm going to compare that to my copy. I think my copy is fairly flawless anyway, but I'll double check it. This one I've never played. Quite like the film, Constantine. I think my wife would probably like to play that. Ooh. Didn't notice that. Got half of a Sony memory card sticker. But yeah, Constantine, there we go. Eve of Extinction, which I'm quite looking forward to having a go at. Seen it before, not picked it up, regretted it, so there we go. This is, I believe, a follow-up to a game that I picked up as basically a disc only the other day, or a few weeks ago. It's like a bonus. I went in the case, found the first Galarians game in there. I know it's not rated particularly well, but I like the idea of it. So Galarians, Ash, and obviously manual, disc, etc. And I think the 3 captures that I'm most pleased with out of that little lot were these 3. And these are games I've never owned before. I've always fancied playing them, and I always used to see them everywhere, and I thought, oh, I'll pick them up one day. And obviously ever since I wanted to pick them up actively, couldn't find them. Anyway, found them all 3 together. So I've got Onimusha Warlords, which I think is the first one. Don't quote me on that, I might be completely wrong. I got Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. Again, manual disc. And Onimusha 3, which has got Jean Reno in it, and despite the scrawly writing in there, pretty pleased with it. It's got the making of as well, so very happy with those. So got all those. Right, what else did I get? Oh, yeah. Found this in the same charity shop about 2 or 3 days later for £2. Golden Sun Dark Dawn for the DS. Very pleased to get that. Although I think it holds a bit of value for trading in, I'm going to keep that. I heard they're quite highly rated. What next? All random pickups. Right. Okay. These were from the recycle centre. Basically, a couple of case transplants. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for the PS1, FIFA 2000 for the PS1. I don't think I've got Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, so I might keep that as it is, but the FIFA 2000 I'm going to nick the case for and put a better game in there. I'll be keeping. And if I do have the other one, I'll probably trade that in, unless it's worth a penny or something, in which case I'll keep it. What next? Oh yes, this was Saturday. This I found in the local cash converters, and it was a little, well, not overpriced, but it was certainly not car boot prices, but it's quite topical. I do have the non-big box version of this, and I've been looking to pick myself one of these up for a while, like I used to have back in the day. It is Doom, the double case version. So I'm very happy with that. It's got the autumn Christmas releases disc in there as well, which is always good for a bit of nostalgia. And obviously there's the manual. No disc in there because that's been in the PS3 and I've been playing Doom again. So very happy with that. Next random thing. This was from the same place. It's Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, which I think is pretty much most, if not all, of the Kingdom Hearts games owned. Unfortunately no manual with it, but it does have the game card. Happy to pick that up, and obviously I'll try and pick up the manual later on. But I can play the game, that's the main thing. What next? Apologies for keep ducking down. This I used up some CX credits on. I saw it today, picked it up, bravely second, for the 3DS. So very disappointed. There's no manuals in these things anymore. You sort of open it up and sort of eager to have a flick through, and it's basically just the game card. And I think in here there should have been maybe a 3DS promotional leaflet and one of those health and safety instruction things, but there wasn't even them. So basically just a load there, which is a bit disappointing. With this sort of thing, you like to get a manual. I think the deluxe edition had all sorts of paraphernalia with it, but I'm happy enough with that. Right, I'm just trying to remember where I got. Yes, Saturday just gone. Looked in some charity shops. Found this for £1. Nintendogs and Cats. I have asked my wife if she wants it. She says she's got no interest. 2 cats and two real cats and 2 real ferrets. Keep her occupied enough. So that will be getting traded in. Then very unusually, London Racer 2 still sealed. I don't know if you can make out there the PlayStation seal. I don't think I've had it. I don't think I've actually got this one either. I think we've got the original London Racer, but not this one. But it's unusual to see an original PlayStation game in the original seal now, so that'll be a keeper. This one I think cost me £1, maybe £2. I know some people slated this when it came out, and I think it was actually the final game for this particular developer. But I've heard from other people that it's not too bad a game. It's 007 Legends, the PS3. So I thought, well, I can pick it up, play it. If I like it, keep it. If I don't like it, you know, I'll get rid of it. This is an upgrade to my copy, Metal Gear Solid 4, which I have obviously in the original PlayStation 3, or at least I intended it to be. I opened it up, it's got a platinum disc in there, but I know for certain the manual and the bump are in much better nick than mine, so they will be kept, as will probably the box, and the disc will probably get traded. I think that was 99p. Can't remember where I got this, if truth be told. Oh yeah, I do. This was a charity shop, this was £1. Blink's the Time Sweeper. Always fancied picking it up, never played it. Opened it up, got the manual, got the disc, and there's a bit of a bonus. Yet another copy of Sega GT 2002 and Jet Set Radio Future when I opened it up. So that was a pleasant surprise. Can't move for copies of Jet Set Radio Future in one form or another. So yes, got that. And whoops, apologies, hopefully you're still there. Last but not least, I went into one of these second-hand shops, and I saw this and I think they've got your pricing wrong, because usually they're fairly hot on how much the value of the games are. So I thought I'd pick it up. I've got no great compulsion to play this on the system that I bought it for. I will be trading it in, make no bones about it, because I can buy something I want more with it. I've got it on multiple other systems anyway. I've got it on PC, I've got it on PS2, and I've got it on the original Xbox. So it's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the recent remaster for the 360. That was £4, and I think I can trade that for another tenner on top. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. So the weekend just gone. We are drawing towards the end, you'll be pleased to hear. Went to the car boots just around the corner from me, saw this, asked how much it was £1. It's not in the greatest shape, but it is a good series, so I thought, why not? Ridge Racer Type 4. It's got the manual. I think it's gotten a bit damp at some point in the past, because the manual is a bit crinkly, and yeah, you can tell actually the snake wheels are a bit rusty. But the disc itself isn't too shabby. There's a few marks on it. They can be tidied up. And I find it hard to sort of not pick up certain games. Ridge Racer series being some of those. Just to vary things a little, a couple of things that I've picked up. These were in a charity shop. If you like movies and things, great. If not, just fast forward the next minute or so. These were, I think, £1 or £2 each, and they're from a certain studio. Never really watched any of this stuff, so I thought, right, I'll get these. I'll watch them, see what I think. If I like them, I'll keep them. If I don't, I'll move them on. And nothing lost. So these are from the Studio Ghibli, or I think it's Ghibli collection. Grave of the Fireflies. These are normal DVDs, by the way. And The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which in itself is a curious enough title to make me curious. So yeah, I'll be watching them, see what I think, see if they're as good as people sort of make out. So yeah, they're good. These have all been picked up, like I say, those were from a charity shop. This was from Computer Exchange. I'm going to take the sticker off so you can see the title of it. This is a movie that you never see on the telly. I ended up watching a copy over YouTube about 2 or 3 weeks ago because I just thought, I really want to watch this film again. I haven't seen it in years. It's John Carpenter's They Live. Fantastic film. If you've never seen it, search it out. It's cheesy and it's great. It's got Roddy Piper in it, and it's notable for an amazing, realistic-ish fight scene that goes on for bloody ages. It's great. So yeah, They Live. Good little bargains. Robot Chicken 3, Star Wars, £1. And this, I was surprised to see, this was £2, this was from the car boot, still sealed, and it's Spectre. I've got most of my James Bond films on DVD anyway rather than Blu-ray, so get the DVD for £2 makes me happy. So, right, basically we're almost up to date. Went to another car boot Sunday just gone. I was a little later than usual getting there, and it didn't start particularly well, to be honest. Like I say, I thought I'd gotten there too late. I saw lots of other resellers, including people with bags this big, mooching around, scooping everything up, and it was one of those sort of occasions where I actually saw this first set of games. Some of these I have, some of them I don't. So obviously the ones I don't I'll be keeping, the ones I do have I'll be trading in once I've checked out whether my existing copy or the new copy is better or worse. So, got these 360 games, these were £1 each. I'm just trying to work out. Yes. That's right. Okay. So these were all from the same guy. So £1 each. It's Need for Speed Pro Street. Skate. Test Drive Unlimited. Tony Hawk's Project 8. Terminator Salvation. Blazing Angels 2, subtitle, Secret Missions of World War II. Sniper Ghost Warrior, with no instructions included. And Ace Combat Assault Horizon. £1 each, and I didn't think for a long time I was going to get any more, to be honest. Like I say, got up late, traipsed up and down, resellers as far as the eye could see. Well, not resellers as such with stores, but there was some. But like I say, resellers up and down. I mean, the sure sign is you mooch up and down, it's not particularly early, and some of these stalls are basically pasting tables laid out, no one to be seen. You know damn well they're mooching up and down the aisles themselves, picking up stuff for peanuts, and then they're going to whack them on at a great big markup themselves, and that really annoys me. But we won't go there. Anyway, this is one I got separate a little later on. This was £1 as well. This is Need for Speed and cover. That was from someone else. This was £1 as well from another random stall. No instructions, the disc needs a bit of a clean, the case isn't the best. It's Street Fighter X Techno, which I do have for 360, so I'm going to work out whether I want it on the 360 or the PS3, and I'll trade in the other one. This one I bought from a reseller, I think who brings his own games. I don't think he trawls up and down anyway. He knocked £1 off this, making it a £5. This is a couple of games by Hideo Kojima. I have one of them for the PS2 but not the second, so I was pleased to get this. This is Zone of the Enders HD collection. So yes, I've got the first but not the second on the PS2, so pleased to get that. I've been looking out for that for a while. I thought a £5 was reasonable. These two I picked up from a chap who was selling a few games with his son, and one of these aforementioned resellers stroke lizards happened upon it while I was looking. Basically saw, I think it was 7 DS games. Had a bit of a chat with him, asked how much they were. The chap said I think £3 each, and the guy says, oh, how much for the lot? And then they had a bit of a conflab about it. Anyway, cutting a long story short, the reseller sort of says, well, I don't want to be paying much for them, I'll give you, well, how many are there? And he says, there's 7 games. He says, I'll give you £9. I thought that was a bit rough, and the guy said, no thanks, I'll try and sell them for a bit more. So this other guy trundled off with his enormous bag of games, and I got these. It's Crash Boom Bang, just the game, no manual, and Pack and Roll, which I've never played and I will be holding on to. This one does have obviously the manual and the game, and I think it's even got the Nintendo points card in there. Not that that's worth anything these days, other than a bit of nostalgia. So I said, how much for those, mate? He says, £5. I was like, yeah, that sounds fair enough. So I gave him a £5 for it, and it meant that he was, you know, when the guy come back as well, it was only going to be 5 games there. Presumably he'd offered £5 for them or something, which I thought was cheeky. This one got from a random store. This is an old Retro Gamer version 1 magazine, cover disc. I can't remember if I've got this one already. Picked it up anyway just in case I hadn't. It's Gremlin's Greatest Hits, which is basically a collection of emulators with Gremlin graphics games on there. So I really don't know. I'm fairly sure I might have seen the same person a few weeks ago at a different car boot, denied about it. Then in the intervening time I had a look at my Retro Gamer magazine cover discs and worked out I didn't have it. Might not be the case, but I picked it up anyway for, I don't think it was even £1, I think it was 50p. I thought that was worth getting, provided I hadn't broke it. Another film, another sealed film. I don't know why people buy these things and leave them sealed. Maybe they're buying them on that Sky thing where you rent it and then they send you a box copy. A lot of people are into the digital thing these days. I was quite happy to pick it up for £2. It's Mad Max Fury Road on the DVD. Heard varying reports of that. Some people say it's great, some people say it's rubbish. I'll watch it and make my own opinion, so happy enough with that. Right, getting towards the end. What shall I do next? There we go. Right, last couple of things. One of these stores where obviously they buy sort of electrical equipment, phones, loads and loads of phones, charging cables, batteries, cases and so on, but it appears that this particular item was being sold by the parents of one of the kids who was also at the store. I saw it and had a look at it. It was in sort of fairly shabby shape, so I powered it on. It seems to work. It got this cable plugged in the bottom. Sharp-eyed review will be able to identify it from this. This is the charging cable, which didn't bode too well. I think that might have put some people off. Anyway, push comes to shove, I sort of asked how much it was. £35. That's quite a good deal, I thought. I do have one of these already, which I'll show you in a second. I went for it. It was PS Vita, which I will now power on for your viewing pleasure, hopefully. There we go. One PS Vita working. Like I say, it was in sort of fairly beat up shape. There's a couple of tiny nicks in the screen, a few scrapes and so on. Found out the covering is actually sort of, it looks like it's painted on, so it's actually shiny underneath. But anyway, it's fully working. There you go. 35 quid. And here's my existing one, just to show you I'm a fan of them. There's mine. And there's that. And I sort of got it for two reasons. One, because for some reason I just love these things. So there we go. Turn that off. And I thought 35 quid, it's a bargain. If mine ever goes wrong, I have a spare. And also my wife can use it if she wants to connect to the PS4 and play remotely. So there we go, there's mine again. So I was very happy with that. And I thought that was going to be about it for the day. Last couple of things also handheld related. This one I saw, I was mooching up and down, the guy wanted a tenner for it. It's a little beat up, it can do with a bit of attention. I'll certainly be giving it a clean, maybe have a look at the screen. It's a yellow original Game Boy with Kirby's Dream Land in the back, which I've never played. So I now own that, and obviously it's in nice nick. I think I had to clean the contacts a bit to get it playing, but he wanted, and it even had some Panasonic batteries in the back. He wanted a tenner. I said, what's the best you take for it, given that the screen's a bit manky? He says £9. He says, I'm giving you a game. I says, yeah, that's fair enough. So, and let's see if it powers up. No, it doesn't. I think I need to clean the contacts again, and also maybe the cartridge connector, but I was pleased with that. Right, last thing. This is by no means the best thing that I found over the last couple of weeks, but I've decided to go at it chronologically this time for a change. And this one, I couldn't quite believe I saw it on the floor. I did, I ummed and ahed. After asking the guy how much it was, he said 12 quid. I went up and down, come back, it was still there. What actually initially got my attention was the guy himself had got himself a bag with a PS1 in it and a load of PS1 games, which obviously he was keeping for himself, because I was having a root through the bag and says, how much for these, mate? He says, oh, I actually bought them earlier for a £5. So he got a boxed PS1 and about 20 games in sort of variable condition. But I thought, well, I said to him, I said, you've done well there, mate. Anyway, looked down, saw this, mooched about, wasn't sure, come back again. It's a US version. It looks legit, as far as I can tell, because I know there's a lot of these going around as fakes. And it is slightly wonky cartridge. I'll have to check that. Didn't check it on the day. But it is Pokemon Soul Silver with a reflective case, with the manual, which sort of helped persuade me it was real, along with the case. The cartridge is a bit, I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if someone's tried to have it apart. I might have got a clunker yet, but I will check that. But yeah, I know this and Heart Gold command a few quid, and I do pick these up, and obviously my wife plays them more than I do probably. I play the original Game Boy ones more than I've played the others, but I thought 12 quid, that was okay. So anyway, I think that is pretty much everything. I don't think I've had any more over the last couple of weeks, so what I'm going to try and do next is obviously going to try and set up that HD PVR2 box, see if I can get that working, and may try and get a bit of gameplay video of something up in the not too distant future, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Be prepared for it being totally unprofessional and fairly on the fly. That is my style. Do like to try the new stuff. Incidentally, thanks for the feedback from you guys that have said about the old green screen type thing. It seemed to work the last time, so fingers crossed I can get it working this time. And talking of people that have commented, thank you again for your comments and subscriptions, so to speak. Keep watching, hopefully there'll be more content coming soon. So yeah, as they say, like, comment and subscribe. And Games-O-Matic, I hope that little lot of pickups has maintained the standards that you've made out. I'll try and keep to in the shout out on your video, and thanks again for that shout out, I appreciate it. So anyway, I'm waffling on. This video's gone on for bloody ages, so this is Darthsteve333 signing off. Bye.